For every one home that is pending, we have 3 that are for sale. Let's talk about that and more in this week's segment of Market Watch. Hi everyone, Joshua Barks here, Associate Broker with Keller Williams Realty Boise and Team Lead of the Barks & Co. Real Estate Team. Thank you for tuning in to this week's segment of Market Watch. If you're new to the channel, we talk about the Boise area housing market on a week-over-week basis, and then once a month we go into a deep dive into the numbers. Last week and this week are just our mini updates, so if you missed that, the link to that is going to be in the description below. And we also send out a weekly report by email, just weekly-ish report by email, and the sign up for that is going to be also in the description below. So without further ado, let's just kind of get right into those numbers. First off, inventory and demand is down this week. We actually have inventory down for the fifth week in a row. We have 1,442 available homes right now in Ada County, down from last week's 1,492. So 50 fewer available homes this week compared to this time last week. And we only had 128 new listings come to market compared to the 150 that came to market last week. When we're looking at pending sales, we are below the 500 overall pending for the first time, excluding a couple weeks ago, which was the real first time since February, but the first time since February of this year. So we are seeing significantly fewer pending sales. So demand is dwindling as interest rates continue to rise. And back in February, when we had the last time we were below 500, we only had 200 available homes. So 200 available homes with almost 500 pending. But now we have 1,442 available homes and almost 500 pending. So very different market than what we saw back then. So we had 116 homes go under contract in the last 7 days, which is also down from last week's 139 homes that went pending. So basically what this means is for every one pending home, we have almost 3 homes that are for sale. And that's not including new construction. We do have home builder confidence is way down, as well as we're seeing fewer homes get built, fewer starts, and a lot of promotions in the new construction market as they're trying to figure out what to do with the inventory that they have so that they can retain the prices that they are looking for, as the cost of materials hasn't come down really that much since the pandemic. Now, the number of home sales is up this week. We had 134 homes close instead of 116 we had the week before. But I would say overall, number of homes sold is staying pretty consistent. Now, with interest rates, this is the first week in a while that they went up very marginally. Last week, we had an overall national average for the 30-year fixed at 6.92%, and this week we're at 6.94%. So still sub 7%. We haven't quite reached that level yet, but it's still early for the rest of the year. It is entirely possible that we'll see 7% and or more by the end of the year. So be prepared for that. And as a buyer right now, it's like I said, for every one pending, there are 3 homes that are for sale. So you have so many more options right now as a buyer compared to the past couple of years. And as long as you can get into something that you enjoy and you can afford it, now is a great time, especially because sellers are offering to pay closing costs. They're buying down interest rate so that you don't have to worry about 7% nearly as much, as well as a few other things that you can get during the negotiation process. That just depends on your specific situation, that specific property, and of course, the ability and know-how of your real estate agent and real estate professional. So that's kind of what we have for you this week. Inventory down, overall pending sales down, home sales up a little bit, but pretty much flat. And that's what we have. Next week, we'll dive into the numbers again. And here in a couple weeks, we'll have our deep dive into the market dynamics. But until then, hope everyone has a great weekend. And we will see you next week for Market Watch.